We are following the fast-breaking developments this morning. You are looking at the scene of that major raid this morning. Sustained explosions, gunfire heard in that neighborhood just outside of Paris, actually less than 1 mile away from the soccer stadium that was attacked.
Authorities thought they might have cornered the mastermind, that man right there, Abdelhamid Abaoud. Here's what we know right now about the raid. 2 people are dead, including that woman who detonated a suicide bomb. 7 people arrested, 5 officers injured, and a police dog was killed. And you also see that photo of one of those suspects dragged away by police, his clothes partially torn off. Robin, what we don't know right now, was this another cell actually getting ready to strike right away? And what has happened to both Abaoud, the mastermind, and that 8th attacker from Friday who fled to Belgium?
We want those answers. World News Tonight anchor David Muir has been on the scene since the raid began this morning. David.
And Robin, we witnessed an incredible scene here. You know, when we arrived, there was a line of ambulances. They were really prepared for anything, and it was a terrifying start for the families who lived here. SWAT teams moving in under the cover of darkness about 4:20 this morning. You can see still a heavy police presence here behind me. That raid ending just a short time ago, but the searching does continue, and we have just learned this morning what drew them to this neighborhood. They have been studying cell phone records since Friday night, since those deadly attacks here in Paris, and those cell phone records, they believed, led them to the mastermind in one of the apartments here. But when they stormed into those 2 apartments, a female suicide bomber detonating her belt, another suspected attacker killed with a grenade. All of this as they were warning everyone who lives around this square and in this neighborhood to stay indoors and lock the windows. 4:20 this morning, Paris time, families here jolted from their beds. A hail of bullets, gunfire, explosions in the street, laser lights pointing into windows, police shouting to witnesses to get away from their windows to hide in their apartments. All of this as French police stormed this housing complex in Saint-Denis, a suburb north of Paris, about 1 mile from France's national soccer stadium, where those terror attacks began to unfold Friday night. Sources confirming to ABC News this operation all part of the hunt for the so-called mastermind of the coordinated and deadly attacks here in Paris, Abdelhamid Abaoud, the Belgian militant and major ISIS recruiter. A French prosecutor just moments ago suggesting that cell phones found led them to this neighborhood, giving them reason to believe that Abaoud could be in one of the apartments here. French sources telling ABC News a woman killed herself during the raid, detonating a suicide belt. All of the attackers who killed themselves on Friday night in Paris had identical belts. A second terrorist here this morning killed by shrapnel and grenades. The bursts of gunfire lasting 3 hours straight, with sporadic explosions in the hours that followed here. We've witnessed special forces and truckloads of soldiers securing the main square here as military helicopters fly overhead. Authorities shutting down schools and warning families to stay inside. Also here, ABC's Matt Gutman, who was just feet from the chaos.
Multiple blasts right now. We're not sure what those sounds of explosions are. Police have been mounting their presence here as those explosions sound out. We're hearing cries of people down the street.
This morning, authorities now say the raid is over, but that the searching here in this neighborhood continues. Families here still on edge.
All other people inside the district can't even go out. They're afraid to take the subway. You know, they're afraid that something else is going to happen.
Authorities evacuating part of the neighborhood. Those who could not get out were told to leave their windows locked. One witness saying it's like war has come to our neighborhood. Abdelhamid Abaoud has not been found, the so-called mastermind, but again, 2 dead, multiple arrests here. 5 French police officers, members of this elite SWAT team that moved in, were injured during this operation. And we've learned this morning that one of the police canines was killed in the raid. And across France already today on Twitter and elsewhere on social media, they're honoring the SWAT teams who moved in quickly. And of course, that canine that was lost. This whole country transfixed by this race to catch the attackers, the so-called 8th attacker, a possible ninth attacker, a second fugitive on the run, and of course this mastermind that they thought they were zeroing in on just behind me down this street today, where the searching does continue at this hour. Robin and George.
Okay, David, thanks very much.